What's going on, you guys? It's Resto, and in today's video we're going to be covering the 20 Twink Preservation Evoker. As per usual, we're going to keep this video short and sweet and to the point. Just like all the other guides, these guides are going to be tailored to wargaming, as it's not worth promoting retail pugs in its current state being a one-shot fest. However, don't worry, stand by. If you still are into that degenerate behavior, I will show pug information. The stat priority for the Preservation Evoker is going to be a little bit a mix of everything, prioritizing the haste and the versatility, but you do want to have a mix of all, as this is going to help your kit and your heals in general. The gear that you see right here is exactly what I am wearing, and it's honestly the same exact gear that I would wear for pugs as well. Maintaining these same gems, I'm doing a mix of intellect and mastery gems. You're going to see stamina gems on my legs because I cross-use the gear for the other specs as well. On the topic of gems, the gems that you're going to spec into for both wargame and pugs is the Brilliant Ornate Ruby, and then to get your little lick of mastery, you're also going to have the Infused Elven Peridot. As far as the Shadowland gems go, I honestly wouldn't even worry about it, as Evoker has good mobility as it is, but mainly because at level 20 Preservation Evoker isn't really the greatest healer when it comes into team fights. However, it is an amazing O healer, offering great assistance for the few players that are going to kill the EFC, and it also provides really good damage to help kill the EFC on top of that. So with that being said, you really don't want to have any restrictions on the intellect that you have, because you're going to want every little bit of intellect possible to help amplify those heals and the damage that you're able to provide. As far as the talents go, this right here is what I'm currently running, just like the other two specs on the guide that I have posted previously. The left side of the tree will always be the same, nothing's really going to change. However, on the right side of the things, I'm offering myself a little bit more healing, a little bit more of a healing kit, I should say. This is going to help amplify a lot of the healing that you do in general, and it's going to help you be at least somewhat of a valuable asset in team fights. Then moving on to the professions, you're looking at leatherworking for the leg enchant and inscription for the shoulder enchant. When covering the gameplay for the Preservation Evoker, it's going to be a lot of offense and just pushing behind enemy lines with the players that are going to be ambushing FCs or just making plays on healers in the backline, not so much in team fights. And the reason for that is, outside of Spirit Bloom and Dream Breath, your Living Flame just simply does not give enough sustainment for your team when it comes to team fights. You're better off going into solo missions with your players that are going to be on O a lot and helping them make plays. Now, I'm not saying preservation heals are terrible, because they are honestly very good. It just doesn't have a lot of single target healing. A lot of it is AoE, so they really thrive in Arathi basing gameplays, but they don't really thrive in a Warsong Gulch setting. A typical rotation for the Preservation Evoker is starting off with your Dream Breath. It works similar to the Fire Breath. The only difference is this heals instead of doing damage. So it's up to you on how much of that instant heal you want. Typically, with a lot of the casting on Evokers in general, regardless of spec, I'm always going to the first tier and allowing it to do its thing. This is also going to be followed up by Reversion and your Echo, as these are two hots that are going to help heal your team as well. And then you're going to follow it up with your Living Flames or Verdant Embrace if you need be. And lastly, you also have a CD heal called Spirit Bloom if you're following my talent build to AT. This is a really strong single target heal that can also jump up to 3 allies. This is a situational heal. You really don't want to use it as much because this is going to be a 30-second cooldown, so this is going to be situational. If you're standing on top of your targets, you can also follow this up with Blossom. This is also another good burst heal that you can utilize as well, as this will keep your team afloat. The skill cap for the preservation to make it work, I honestly would say it's a little bit high, just because of what you have to do to make it viable. It really isn't something you can just pick up and start playing, as there's a lot of things that you have to consider in terms of your rotation, because everything is situational with preservation. Outside of healing, you are a damage dealer as well that can help support your DPS on securing a kill. So take in consideration, just like how the other specs work on the filler damage, you have Fire Breath, Azure Strike, and Living Flame. These are all things that you can utilize to put damage on the enemy players. You also have Disintegrate, but we have that banned in our war games just because of the amount of damage that it deals. Obviously, pugs, you do not have those restrictions. Spamming Azure Strike puts a 3-second slow on the enemy target. This can really help your team on catching up to them if they are kiting, but it can also help as a peel. Unfortunately, this is another spell that is also banned in our war games just because of the amount of damage that it does. Preservation does do a lot of damage, so this is why I'm saying it is a really good O healer. But kind of backtracking back to the healing, as long as you're maintaining your Dream Breath hot, you're honestly going to do just fine as a Preservation Evoker. As long as you use this and follow it up with your Living Flames and Spirit Blooms, you're going to do golden. Outside of that, that is the basics to the Preservation Preservation Evoker. There's really not much else to explain, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you really like to give it a favorite, commenting is free as well as subscribing. It's been Resto, guys. See you guys next time.